This video was taken down for a made-up reason by YouTube. When I submitted an appeal, they said that they were right the entire time, even though it was a bot. And they also, just like before, cited completely unrelated reasons, but won't let me appeal that because they've decided to make a new decision. No human actually observed anything, and you know that. Also, one of my appeals is sitting there because they've left it in reply hell so that they don't have to acknowledge that that one was wrong. On the one channel that they admitted they were wrong on, they're not going to do it twice in a month. 2002 Dominion voting of Toronto, Ontario, and Denver, Colorado, and 2001 CITEL of Athens, Greece, Barcelona, Spain, and Paris, France, declared bankrupt June 2020, were both competitors originally, until that CITEL went out of business. Neither have an office or server in Frankfurt, Germany. And none of them were handling anything remotely in another country for the election for the United States that anybody has been able to provide information about. And people keep repeating this crap, and it's in the news again. I also uploaded a video just a little while ago, actually yesterday, but it got stuck because YouTube accidentally didn't make it visible. I wonder how many interference patterns they're going to put up this week. Total Moyer. Crime Noir? Or Crime Noir? Patterns. Anyway, they were competitors. They didn't cooperate with each other, and neither of them had a Frankfurt, Germany location to talk about. The word CITEL actually refers to a word, a real one, for a cryptographic tool called a CITEL. So it's cryptographically like. Republican Representative Louis Gohmert of Texas said, "I don't know the truth, but in 2020, November 8th at 3 a.m., original source, Andreas Schubert, a suspended German Twitter account, decided to post something without providing any evidence, corroboration, or explanation. The U.S. Army forces seized CITEL Software's Frankfurt office servers, but the original rumor translates in an interesting way that could make it to where you may understand something interesting here. First part of it is, something big is coming. The Spanish software company, CITEL, it's not Greek apparently either anymore, which sells election manipulation software worldwide. Is that what they do? That was used in the U.S. when they had been out of business and been declared bankrupt in June, so that's not true at all, is on the verge of crosshair. The server for the manipulation was in Germany. Okay. Now, we have to go to the original source. Well, we can't. His Twitter account's dead. Also, archives of conversations attempted to be had with him said that, wake up sheeple and stuff like that, and other things, also saying things that seem more reasonable and maybe trying to explain himself, but no evidence was ever provided for where he got this from. Now, this was proliferated by Louis Gohmert of Texas, who was quoting him, and also other people, who then found out that it was just some idiot on Twitter and added bullshit stories to it. The other part of the posting, which obviously doesn't provide any sources, also said, "A rogue who thinks evil," or "a rogue that thinks badly," depending on the translation. "Tonight, the U.S. Army confiscated the servers with a huge mobilization," or "Tonight, the U.S. Army seized the surfers with a huge contingent." Surfer? Also, a retired three-star Air Force Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney falsely claimed the U.S. soldiers died attacking a CIA facility in Germany to make it something else so that it would change the search engine ranking, tied to election fraud, and also at one point didn't say Frankfurt, Germany, and then eventually did, and then said some other city, and called it the Hammer supercomputer and software called Scorecard as a program hack for Biden. And just like the other one, and by the way, this isn't the original posting. He was ripping off someone else's bullshit story. And I got to point out, if you go to a news source that talks about gold prices and how you have to invest in it because the world's coming to an end because Jesus is coming and you better look busy or exhausted, There's a joke there. It's not a nice one. If you go to a website that keeps telling you to invest in gold, and oh, by the way, they just happen to sell gold, gold stocks, and you're dealing with a group of people that, by definition, from those advertisements, aren't just deceptive; they're fleecing you, golden fleecing you. Any website that exercises politics based on ignoring any fact or proliferating bullshit stories is trying to cause a change in the group of people they're talking to get them to buy shit from them or sell it back to them when it's real cheap. You're being milked. And you're not a cow, you're a bull. I want you to think about what's being milked here. And it's okay for the first few hours, but then after that, well, it's a Mars joke on South Park. So anyway, I got flagged for spam, deceptive practices, scams, false claims, not allowed on YouTube because of their policies, about debunking widespread fraud, errors, or glitches that changed the outcome of the U.S. 2020 presidential election, because that's what they said I was doing, but they said I was encouraging it instead of debunking it. You decide. Oh, wait a minute, you can't because they're going to shut me up. So the 3 idiots of the horseman will be used in the video title. The name of the German Twitter account that lied, because he was lying. Andres Schubert. Louis Gohmert of Texas. And, of course, a U.S. Army 3-star ex-Air Force general, Thomas McKerney. All said something that wasn't true here, and then spun the story a different way without citing sources, and made all sorts of claims about it. Hammer, scorecard, Frankfurt, Germany, their names, your mom. Dominion voting of Toronto, Ontario, and Seitel did not have anything to do with each other. Seitel had a history that led up to them being declared bankrupt, and they were auctioning shit off and not really hooking it up yet. Nobody was using their software that I could find anywhere after being declared bankrupt, or any hardware. Dominion was in use, but they don't have equipment outside of the United States. And this was flagged because YouTube and Google use a artificial intelligence routine to determine truth or falsehood. We're being judged by computer bots. That's actually a good story to talk about. But no, there's no evidence of any kind of attack. It wasn't a CIA facility. I'll have to include that in the title. And that's it. It was never true. Couldn't be true. There's no physical possibility. And also, I should point out that other people, including the idiots on Reddit, some of which actually believed this originally, went ahead and asked their German counterparts to look for any news stories or even rumor milling from scandal pages and the crime blotter sheets of the day of anything going on in Frankfurt, Germany, or anywhere else on the dates that were mentioned. And by the way, all these sources kept changing the date that it happened until it became a ludicrously stupid argument. Seitel went out of business in June of 2020. They started off in the year 2001. They were based out of Greece, France, and Spain, not Germany. And Dominion voting is still in existence and is suing the shit out of people who lied about what they did. And they started in the year 2002. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with it.